And talking of headlines, today's managerial one, the sacking of Jose Mourinho after 17 months at Tottenham. This is what Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, had to say. Jose and his coaching staff have been with us through some of the most challenging times as a club. Jose is a true professional who showed enormous resilience during the pandemic. On a personal level, I've enjoyed working with him and regret that things have not worked out as we both had envisaged. He will always be welcome here, and we would like to thank him and his coaching staff for their contribution. That is Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, a man that once appointed Timothy Sherwood. So you know him well. What was your reaction when you heard that today?
Well, my reaction when Jose first went in there is, oh, that's not going to work. I mean, that is a poor marriage. And it's turned out to be that way. You know, very strong-minded characters, two good guys, in my opinion. But as I say, got opinions. Daniel Levy. What I like about Daniel and Joe Lewis when they run their football club is if they need to make a decision, they make it. Don't beat around the bush. Get it done. You know, I remember when I was a player there and he come in and took over from Alan Sugar as chairman of the football club. It was a week before the FA Cup semi-final and we played Arsenal at Old Trafford. And he decided it was a good idea to sack George Graham and employ Glenn Hoddle. Now, if anyone's going to win a one-off game, it's going to be George Graham. And I would suggest if anyone's going to win a one-off game, like the Carabao Cup final, it's going to be Jose Mourinho.
So why has he done it 5 days before a cup final then?
Well, we'd have to, no, only he would know. But like I say, he makes stronger decisions. That's why if you had a company, you'd want him working for you. I think he's a top draw chairman. I think he makes decisions, and I think that's what you need. Someone's going to make strong decisions now. He's got a huge decision to make now because at the moment, Tottenham have had a disastrous season. Where they are at the moment outside of European football, forget Champions League. Still a chance, there's only 5 points adrift. Yeah, they might win a Carabao Cup final, but obviously, by sacking him now, the objective for him bringing in Jose Mourinho was not to win the Carabao Cup final, was it? It was to finish in the Champions League spots. Now, he thinks that someone else taking over now, freshening it up, gives them that best chance to do that. And that's why he's made the decision.
As a manager, when you go into these jobs, does nothing surprise you, the timing of decisions, Eddie?
No, nothing can surprise you in football management. I think Jose would have known that. I really feel strongly, as Tim does, if there's a one-off game and you want a manager to lead your team into a cup final, or one game you have to win, he would be the guy. His track record says that. So this is, the timing for me is a surprise, but you don't know what goes on at the football club, and only Tottenham will know why they've done what they've done.
Would it suggest there's been a breakdown of communication for this to happen before a Wembley Cup final?
I think something would have had to have happened behind closed doors, that Tottenham feel that this is the best decision for their football club. For Jose, I think he's an outstanding manager. For me, he's still one of the world's best. His track record speaks for itself. But this will be a blow for him. But he'll have to go away and then work out what to do next.
What would you feel like if you were a Tottenham player, waited so long to play in a cup final, and 6 days before it, this happens?
I'd be fine. I'm still going to get to play in the cup final.
I mean, not cause any disruption?
Maybe, but you know, I think Jose Mourinho causes disruption, full stop, doesn't he? When he comes to the club, that's what you buy into when you employ him. I mean, if Daniel Levy is decided he's no longer for us, and he allows him to then go and manage the team, and they win the Carabao Cup final, that probably gives him a more of a problem, and it's more difficult to actually part companies with him then. So you could look at it and think, well, yeah, he's taken that out of the equation. The team aren't doing what they're not even in European places. They've not won anything yet this season. They don't look like winning anything. They're not playing great. The style of football's awful compared to, or considering the players that they've got. I think, you know, I expected him to be let go at some point. It is a little bit strange why it's a few days earlier, but that's the only reason I can think of, other than there's been an internal bust-up.
Be interesting to see the team. You know, when we've all been in dressing rooms where the manager goes, half of them are happy and half of them are sad. You know, it'd be interesting to see. I think Paul Pogba's quotes didn't help during the week. I think that was almost a nail in the coffin there for Jose, because Daniel Levy listens to everything. He's very astute, listens to every comment. And he would have felt, perhaps how Paul Pogba's feeling, is that happening in our dressing room? And he would have spoke to a few. I'm sure he would have spoke to people within the dressing room. He's at that training ground all of the time. He's not got his offices away from the training ground, so he sits in the restaurant there and he talks to the players.
What would he do to him? Would he sit sort of the the senior players, your Llorises, your Kanes, etc.?
Possibly, yeah. But then players, I think, speak very highly of Jose Mourinho. You know, so but it's about the collective. One person, I'm sure. Now, I'm not sure Gareth Bale's relationship with Jose Mourinho, but if I was to have a guess on Sunday, Carabao Cup final, Gareth Bale will start that football match.
Really?
So he might be happy because he's one of their best players. Let's face it. Why is he not playing? We don't know. They're
Might
playing.
suggest that Dele Alli might be rather happy as well.
Yeah, but I'm not sure Dele's done enough. I think Gareth Bale is, you know, we talked about winning stuff and playing in big games and performing brilliantly on a big occasion. This is a big occasion for Tottenham. It might not be as big occasion for Man City, although they went out the FA Cup, so they want to win a trophy. I think Gareth starts with Son and with Harry Kane.
Okay. You've managed against Jose Mourinho. We all know the size of the character and the ego, if you like. He'll be hurting. Do you think even he might have been surprised by the timing of this, Eddie?
That's a difficult question to answer from the outside. But, yeah, having managed against him, the aura that the man has, he's got a real presence when you meet him and when you spend time with him. And as I said, his track record speaks for itself. So, as I say, it's difficult unless you're in there. But I'm sure he would have been licking his lips at a chance to go against Manchester City, Pep Guardiola, win a cup competition and then answer his critics in that way. That's been taken away from him, and I think that will really hurt him.
Yeah, well, I was talking to him only on Friday at Goodison Park, and he was talking about Wembley and who'd be fit, and obviously Harry Kane as well. You have made no secret of the fact on these shows that you weren't a fan of his style and you didn't think it was a fit. So, therefore, forget the timing for a moment. The fact that it's come to an end is kind of what you've been predicting.
Yeah, listen, I respect what the lads are saying in terms of a one-off game. You'd still want him in your corner, but they're obviously forgiven a lot there. I mean, I wouldn't want him as a one-off game now. I could name a right few managers that I prefer as a one-off game now. And I totally respect what they say, and 5 years ago I would have agreed. 10 years ago I certainly agreed. I don't think he's been a great manager for a long, long time, more than 5 years. I mean, he took Chelsea champion. I mean, he got sacked from Chelsea 10th. I mean, and since then, he's not done much at all with great teams, spending hundreds and hundreds of millions of pounds, and forgetting the results. The style of football now, it's shocking. You look at the great managers, they don't play defensive, counter-attacking. The game is not like that anymore. Look at Pep Guardiola, look at Jurgen Klopp, look at Thomas Tuchel, look at everyone. They want the ball. They want the ball. They want to be in possession of the ball. You can actually make things happen when you've got the ball. Just sit back and defend, or go to a decent team and think, yeah, we're not as good as them. Have you seen the players that Tottenham have got? It's phenomenal, that squad. Absolutely phenomenal. How they are not in the top four it's a travesty. And I don't think he's been at the top of his game for a long, long time. So, you know, I thought it was going to come. I agree that that they should part ways. Surprised that it's happened just before a cup final, but I think in the long run, it's absolutely the right decision.
Can you see a change in him from the Chelsea manager, for instance, that you managed against?
Well, I think you could definitely see a change from the club to club that he's gone, the journey that he's been on in terms of style, because I think his early Chelsea team, I thought, was an outstanding team. The names of that team roll off the tongue. At Real Madrid, he dominated Spanish football for a period of time, scoring lots of goals. But as he's gone on, I think that the challenges in the game does move on at such a pace. Season upon season, the game changes, styles, trends.
Do you think he's changed with it enough, Eddie?
I'm not going to sit here and criticise him. I'm a manager. I'm not going to sit here and criticise another manager. It's not really my place to do that. I will always support people in those positions. But the game does change, and the game changes for me, sat here, while being out of it as I speak. So it's a challenge to stay current and to stay innovative, if I can say it. That is a big challenge for every manager.
Do you think he's changed enough over the years?
Personally, I don't think that Jose Mourinho winning 20 major trophies throughout his career needs to change. Now, when you go to Tottenham, and I was surprised that he went to Tottenham because not with the dynamics of the chairman and the manager. Not only that, with the style of play. We know Jose carries the style of play, what Michael's alluding to there. It's very pragmatic. Tottenham fans will not suffer that. He's been lucky that there hasn't been fans in the stadium because they would have put extra pressure on him. The Bales needed to play. The players on the front foot needed to play. You would not have got away with it. But he decided to go that route. Whoever decided to bring him into the football club, he's one of the best managers we've ever seen in the game. High profile. He was available, so they brought him in. But he was still going to deliver the same style of football. That's not Jose Mourinho's fault. That's the fault of whoever brought him into the football club. And why should you try and change a man who's won that much? Perhaps the only thing what was missing, Jose might have thought that he might have got a little bit more money. But I think Daniel Levy backs his managers, but I'm not sure he was prepared. I mean, for instance, let's use the Gareth Bale scenario. I know he's a free transfer, or he's a loan, but it's an awful lot of finance there gone into that deal, and he's hardly played. He's hardly had a run of games. Vinicius has come in, doesn't play. The rotation's been poor. They're so reliant upon two players, which is Son, and obviously the talisman, which is Harry Kane. So the devaluation of Dele Alli, Harry Winks, I can go on. Danny Rose, England international, not even got a shirt number. When you look at the value of the squad, what he inherited, to the value of the squad, what he's now going to leave, a lot less finances. And Daniel will be looking at that. That's not good. But one thing is for sure, I think he's finished in the Premier League. He can't go to another club in the Premier League. He goes and manages big football clubs. I don't think there's a big enough club available for him now. He will go and manage international football, possibly in Portugal in a couple of years' time. But for me, he's left a fantastic legacy over the years. But I think we've seen the end of Jose now.
Do you agree? Can you see similarities to the end of Tottenham to the end of Manchester United?
Yeah, I think he's too big a personality to take another step down. I think coming 6th, 7th in the league with Tottenham, that's difficult for him to take. He's a born winner. He has won over the years. He's been a great manager. I don't think he can go any lower than that. I don't think his pride can let him go any lower than that. In which case, he'll go over and take a top team in another country, or, as Tim says, as an international manager. But I do think that his style had to have changed over the years. To stay present, as Eddie mentioned, to stay present, you have to change. I mean, I played under Sir Alex Ferguson. How can you win for 27 years or whatever? The football's a lot different in that time. You have to be able to adapt. That's the sign of greatness.
Yeah, Michael, it's difficult, though, when you're winning. Do you think
he hasn't won for ages.
Yeah, but he has won. I mean, in Man United, when he wins Europa League, still, in his eyes, was a massive success, finishing second in the league, winning the League Cup at Manchester United as well. He would see that as success, so he would say, well, why should I change? Like, he made a real quote 2 weeks ago saying, same coach, different players. Oh. Now, that's damning to the dressing room. Quotes like that is almost saying the players are not good enough. Now, I agree then, perhaps you've got to identify that the players are not suited to the way you normally play. So then it's up to the manager to adapt it and try and change. But perhaps he can't. Perhaps he doesn't want to.